The people that are going to be on the, I just muted everybody, but you could go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to talk. But basically, everybody that's showing video is going to be on the main gallery screen. But you could scroll to your right, and then you'll see other people that are on the call as well. So far, we've got 16 on the call right now. I'll go down the list. If you can't hear me, please send me a text. And we'll try and help you out. Let's give it just a few more minutes. There's still people coming on the call, okay? I've got Carol, Debbie, Don, Eduardo, Feng, John, Ludi, Mo, Nancy, Rosie, Stephanie Pagan, and here's David Grimm coming in. So this is great, guys. Thank you for joining this call. Honestly, like I was mentioning earlier, Zoom is pretty new to my life. I've been on like GoToWebinar before in the past and stuff like that, but Zoom was introduced to me just a few months ago through our Debbie to Grow coaching from corporate. And so it is also a new thing to me, even though you guys think that I'm like a techie person, it is also new to me. And, you know, pretty soon this will all be over and we're all going to go back to doing business as usual. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people are going to remember these days and go, wait a minute, I could have been having in-person meetings with people immediately on the spot, not having them drive to my office anymore if we needed to talk something out. And you got to remember, humans are visual people. So using video, I can't stress it enough. You guys know that I've sent you sometimes videos through our email communications and sharing that, you know, video works. It's a big thing. Let's give it just a few more minutes. I'm going to say, if everybody's okay with this, maybe like 2 more minutes, and then we'll jump right into it. By the way, we just have another person come on just now, and that's Christy Rye. If you guys follow me on Facebook, last night she was on Coast 103.5. They had her as one of the guest callers, and she basically gave us all a shout out for, you know, hanging in there and continuing to work, you know, even if it means remotely. But anyways, so Christy, thanks for the shout out. I don't know if you could hear us. Oh, she's barely connecting the audio. So she doesn't even know that I just said all that about her. Christy, I was just talking about you and your Coast 103.5 shout out that you gave us all last night. And I don't think she could hear us though. Anyways, we'll get to that in a sec, guys. I still have more people coming in. We have now 20 participants on the line. So this is great. Hey, Renee. All right. If for some reason you're not hearing me, do this or something, I guess. I don't know if that might communicate. All right. Just so a few more minutes and then you can't hear me, Ludi? Oh, you can? Okay, good. All right, cool. So just a few more minutes. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, though, while we're, it seems like I don't think we're gonna have that many more people join, but just in case, I'll keep an eye out. But I'll start here. Somebody raised their hand. Give me 1 second. 714-600-7741. Who is that? Oh, meeting ID. No, here, let me. No, Renee's already on. Renee, you're good? You can hear me? Renee? Give me a thumbs up if you could hear me, Renee. He can't. Okay. All right. And then who's 714? Sorry, guys. This is just right now as we're starting and preparing this. I promise you, next week, once we have a regular office meeting through Zoom. Okay, Angie. What's up, Angie? I think she's having trouble logging in. Hi, Angie. Can you hear me? Okay, give it a few more minutes. But I'm gonna start sharing a couple thoughts with you guys. And if you see that, Do you guys notice that when I do that, it looks kind of funky? I'm actually using a virtual background, and I'm gonna turn that off for a second. Uh, Give me a sec here. I want to show you guys something. Movie magic here. Um, all right, so I'm actually at the office where I normally sit, right back by the kitchen. So the cool thing with this is I can hear you. It's good. Okay, Angie's good. So the cool thing about this is you could actually be in your living room talking to a client and set a background that you're over by the Golden Gate Bridge or out in outer space, or you can do what I did and just select a standard Berkshire Hathaway background. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool things that you could do with Zoom. So I do encourage you to, after this call, if you haven't already, create an account. And, this way, you'll be able to update all your information on it. It's free. Our company does have a pro account because we're going to have a lot more of these going on. But for you, it's free and you could use it with your clients. And the other one that I gave a couple of you agents in here recently was if you have iPhone, and I'm sure Android has it too. With iPhone, you can do FaceTime. So keep that in mind. You don't even have to use Zoom. You can do FaceTime on your iPhone, right? So those are just things. But one thing that I'll say, and you could either do a video about this in the next few days, or do a Facebook post. But one thing that I would say to you that I've noticed, and if you guys are out there working with buyers right now, you'll notice this too. And these are the real true stats, okay? If in Cypress, before this happened, there was only 60 properties on the market, there are currently only about 25 now on the market, okay? So inventory was already low, and now it even got lower, right? Well, here's the thing though. Interest rates now are below 3, right? They're in the high 2s, okay? With people with great credit and whatever and whatnot, right? But I'll tell you one thing. I've been out there with my buyers out in Laverne and Claremont showing homes. And all honesty, 2 weeks ago, got outbid. We were 15 grand over asking. We got there at 10 a.m. and there was about 15 people standing on the front lawn of this house, okay? Everybody had masks on, and they made you wear shoe covers when you went in. And that's what the guy said in his email when you asked for showing requests. But the point I'm trying to make to you guys is there are some people that are diehard that were looking for homes 2 months ago and didn't find a home. And now all of a sudden that they see that the inventory dropped, but the rates went down, right? So, and I kid you not, for my specific client, it dropped $400. Their payment dropped $400. So I'm not saying that they're willing to get sick. They're not willing to go out there and get sick and risk their life to save $400. But the reality is this: if you look at South Korea, if you look at Wuhan, China, and all of China, they're already beyond this. They already came and went. We're going through what they were going through. They're already out of it. Do you guys remember Nikki Rowe from Orange Coast Title? Yes? Nikki Rowe, follow her on Instagram. They're out there playing basketball, going to bars, going to dinner in South Korea every day like nothing's going on. Not a single person is wearing a mask. They already came and went through the storm. You know, this thing's going to end one day. And I'm going to tell you, I said this to an agent the other day, is here's what's going to happen. This thing is going to have us down for 2 months or 3 months, right? God forbid it goes to 4. But what's going to happen is when this is all over, there's only going to be 2 types of people. Those that are 2 months ahead or those that are 2 months behind, okay? I read a quote this morning. It's from an old English writer named Sidney Smith. And he says, "It is the greatest of all mistakes to do nothing because you can only do a little. Do what you can." So I'm going to tell you, I failed you guys these last few weeks. I thought that me being enough was coming into the office and being here for you guys via phone and whatever and being here. And you know what? I failed you guys. I should have been calling you to see how you're doing. I should have wrote you a handwritten note. I should have wrote my clients a handwritten note. Should have called them to see how they're doing. So look, I'm not perfect, right? None of us are. So my question to you right now is, have you done that? And it's not too late. It's not too late. We still got another full month of this. We're on day 9, right? It's not too late. How do you think your clients would feel if they got a handwritten note from you in the next 2 weeks that said, Nancy, hope you and your family are well. Thinking of you guys at this time. Love, Benny. How would that, do you think that would make a difference? Do you think they go, wow, man, and some of these people are thinking, oh, okay, they're just at home just like me. Or they're thinking maybe they're not. They don't know, but you took time out of your day to do that. So, I know that we're limited on what we can do right now, right, with the situations. If you absolutely have to go show, please go back into your emails from corporate, because there's a little broker risk management section there on the right where you could download these forms, right? If you absolutely have to show a property to this buyer, they just absolutely have to see it, right? Please tell them to wear a mask. You yourself wear a mask, and you have to make them sign these documents that risk management sent out. Also, CAR is sending out a document, and risk management saying that we should use that document over their risk management. The bottom line is protect yourself. You don't want anybody coming back to you and saying, hey, we got really sick because of you. It's like, well, you wanted to see the house in the first place, right? But I'll tell you, the other thing, I have a client right now that's about to list his house, and he's asking me, well, do you think we should just wait till this is all over? And I'm telling him, a week and a half ago, I was on somebody's lawn with 15 other people with masks on, and we overbid 15 grand. Excellent credit, great income, great employment. That's another thing. Right now in your offers, who is your buyer? Is their HR out and not working, or are they working? Because that's going to determine whether or not your loan's going to close or not. My client works for USPS, and the husband works for Southern Wine and Spirits. He's an alcohol distributor, and he goes, Benny, we're not stopping. We're actually putting in overtime now, right? So you got to think about those things right now too, because I'm telling you, you might have a buyer where their HR, let's say you have a buyer that's a manager at Cheesecake Factory, okay? Their HR is probably out. They're not showing up. And if they are, they're doing half days, okay? So you got to remember that now. Our escrows now are going to be longer. They're not going to be 21-day escrows. They're not going to be 30. They're going to be 45 to 60-day escrows now. I'll be candid with you guys. For the month, yes, we're on the 9th day with everything that's going on. And mind you, some of these deals probably opened up before this happened. But guess what? The beauty of it is they're closing. We actually have 5 total closings for this month. Okay. And funny, some people will say, well, yeah, maybe that was from last month. But I'll tell you, last month, we had the same equivalent of closings that we have today at day 9. Okay. So the good thing that I see, and you got to see the good in everything, is that those deals actually closed. I would have been scared if those deals, the lenders came back and said, you know what, we're pulling all our financing until further notice, which a lot of small brokerages and banks did, right? But they're still closing. And I'll tell you another thing. Rosie, please don't get upset. David Grimm, don't get upset at me. Marjorie, Jolie, all these people that I just mentioned right now, and please forgive me if I missed one of you, opened escrow this week. Actually, Rosie, you opened last week. David opened last week. But Jolie came in, walked in yesterday, opened an escrow, right? So stuff's going on, and again, so I go back to my whole thing. I know we're limited on what we can do, but I will tell you, there's only going to be 2 kinds of people. It's those of us that are playing catch up, 2 months behind, or those of us that are 2 months ahead of everybody. I'm not saying go hang out in Skid Row with all the bums and go drop your food on the floor and then eat it and hope that you don't get COVID. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying keep your distance, wear a mask, be smart, try to avoid people as much as you can. But, you know, there's still things you could do. And here's the proof. Look at this. We're having a meeting. We have 21 participants on this call. John Greer, have we not had days when you and I walk in here and we're like, man, there's only 5 people here. What happened today? Right? And the show goes on. We go on, right? We don't go, hey, guys, we're going to cancel the meeting because only 5 people showed up. We keep going, right? And sometimes those have turned out to be the best meetings, you know? So please embrace technology at this time. I'm going to switch. I'm going to take off my headphones right now because otherwise you guys won't be able to hear this. But I want to play you guys a video real quick. Is that okay? Can I get a thumbs up from everybody? Yeah? Okay. And then in a few minutes too, we're going to mute everybody and let's talk a little bit. Anything that you guys want to share. Give me a sec here, guys. I'm going to share. Let me take my... Okay, now you can hear me? Yes? All right, cool. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen with you. Again, please bear with me. All right. And hopefully this doesn't come on too loud, guys. And you guys can see the screen, yes?
I got into comedy at 27.
Can you hear that?
I had a turnback moment, man. It was the day I was going to quit. Because I had enough, man. I was living in this car for 3 years, man. I ain't got no money. And I was going to call my mom and dad and ask them, could I come home and just stay in the attic for about 4 months till I find a job. My father told me, you can't come back home. Once you leave my daddy's house, you got to figure it out. So I knew it was going to be hard. But they had put an answering machine in the attic for me. And so I was bathing in a hotel in Pensacola, Florida. And the way I used to bathe was, I used to go to hotels that had those bathroom doors that went floor to ceiling. I would go to real fancy, like Ritz-Carltons and stuff like that, because they had linen towels wrapped up in a basket. And I would take a bunch of them and run hot water on them, and I'd take them in the stall and shut the door, and I'd take my bag and I'd soap up. Then I would wait till the coast was clear, and I'd run out and get a bunch of more rags and soak them up and come out and wipe it off. Then I'd stand there and dry, put my clothes back on. That's how I bathed every other day, man. And so I was in there one time, and they had a convention in town. And when I got all the stuff, I soaked up. This convention let out, and men was just coming in the bathroom, and I couldn't go out. So I couldn't get the soap off. So I let the toilet seat down. I'm sitting there, man. I just started crying. I said, man, I can't take it no more. I'm finna quit. I'm gonna go call my daddy, just ask him to come home, man. I can't do this no more. So before I called him, I called the answer machine, and I got a message. And it says, Steve Harvey, this is Chuck Sutton from Showtime at the Apollo. We saw a tape of you. If you would come to New York Sunday night, this was a Thursday, come to Sunday night, we're gonna put you on TV, Showtime at the Apollo. Put me on TV, that was my dream. But I had a problem. I had $25, and I couldn't get to New York. How was I gonna get to New York with $25? So I said, man, I went back in my car and I'm crying again. I said, man, God, I finally get a shot to get on TV and then I can't even go. I said, how did you do this to me? You know, I'm 30-something now, my whole life. And I thought, you get me here? So I said, let me call this machine back and just see if he said this Sunday. And I called it back, and it said, Steve, this is Chuck Sutton from Showtime at the Apollo. We saw a tape. We have an opening for you Sunday. If you can get here, give me a call, let me know. We'd love to put you on TV. I said, so I got ready to hang up, and I heard, beep, you have another message. And I punched in the code, and the message says, Steve Harvey, this is Tom Sober from the Comedy Caravan. I don't know where you are now, but I have a gig available for you in Jacksonville, Florida, to pay you $150 Friday night. If you can make the gig, let me know. I'm in Pensacola. So I called Tom Sober. He sends me to this gig to make $150. I go the next night, I make $150. But I was so funny, the club owner said, if you stay the next night, I'll pay you another $150. I got $300. I called Chuck Sutton back at the Apollo and said, hey man, I just got this message. If you still got room for me in New York, I'll do it. He said, yeah, come on. So I went to Eastern Airlines, bought a round trip ticket for $99 from Jacksonville, Florida to New York, performed on Showtime at the Apollo, wrote the joke that made me famous. Mike Tyson hit this fighter, Mitch Green, in the eye, and his eye started talking. And I wrote that on the way to New York. Got a standing ovation on the Apollo. I have been on television ever since that night right there.
Give me a sec, guys. Okay, cool. All right, can everybody hear me? We're good? Okay, cool. And then I'm sorry, some people had logged out and I just got to check. Is everybody in? Carrie, Renee, are you guys in?
Carrie can't get in.
No? Okay, well, I think I just let them in again. All right, but you guys can hear me, right? Okay, cool. Hopefully you guys like that. You know, some people can't stand Steve Harvey and some people can. I like the guy. I think he's pretty cool. That is a true story, real true story. And one thing, you know, I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I saw him many years ago at one of those tapings where they have you come in and be part of the audience. And right before he left, it was just like what we just witnessed when the cameras are off or whatever. And he just talked to the audience and he was just saying, you know, go and do what you believe in, go and do what you really love. And, you know, and have faith in the Lord, you know, because he'll be there by your side. And how crazy, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being that at that level, right? Where he was at, where he couldn't even shower somewhere, right? And to see him today, the life that he lives today, you know, I mean, this guy is like, he's got how many TV shows and, you know, I mean, just incredible, you know? So trust me, you know, I love the quote where they said overnight success takes 15 years, right? And I always tell people, I'm on year 13, you know, you're going to have to weather the storm, right? I remember many years ago, we had Floyd Whitman come out and talk to us. I don't know if any of you guys remember Floyd Whitman. He's still around. I don't know if he's still speaking or not. But Floyd Whitman said that he's from out that way, like Michigan, over by like the lakes and all that stuff. And he said that you would have all these people go out on the water and they had to cross the lake to go to like the other docks or whatever where all the restaurants were at. But you could see a storm coming, and so a lot of guys would turn around and just go park their boat, right? And he's like, no way, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go straight across. And so so he goes, I go through it, my wife's hanging on, and it starts raining on us, and the boat's doing this, and we're going across, and it's rough, it's really bad and whatnot. He goes, but once I crossed, he goes, I got off, and I was like, oh yeah, right? Yeah, who's the man, you know? And he goes, and I had that walk, you know, because I weathered the storm. He goes, I have to be completely honest with you guys, I was scared for my life while I was going across the lake. He goes, but once I got over there, I was, you know, I showed everybody my confidence and everything. So trust me, this is a storm. Everybody's going through it, and you know, we're gonna get over it together. I promise you. I'm gonna share my screen again, just for some of you. I've had a couple of you ask me, is there any kind of a resource for us? As far as money goes, or unemployment, or things of that nature. So let me share with you real quick. I'm going to go to California Association of Realtors. Can you see my screen there? Yeah, you're seeing it. All right, cool. I got my sidekick Don over here. That's I'm gonna call him my, what would I call you? Co-pilot. There we go. So if you guys go to car.org, just go to the homepage. If you'd like some more assistance or find out what your options are as far as possibly getting some kind of a financial aid or whatnot, you can scroll down here, and you see that car update coronavirus microsite. So you could click on this COVID relief hotline one. I don't personally know what they're offering there. I did read something here where they are experiencing high call volume, and those are the hours and the time that they're available. But the other thing that I did read somewhere there, that they're saying that you need to make sure to get all your make sure to check these sites, because I think they're offering some kind of relief for realtors in the future, not yet. But see, if you read this statement here, CAR strongly recommends that realtors not apply for PUA at this time from the EDD, but rather wait for further guidance. Applying now would result in significant delays. We'll issue information to members as soon as we have it. So if you need help like that right now, please go there. Like I said, it's very simple. You just go to the car homepage, scroll to the bottom, mid-bottom, COVID relief hotline, read more, and you will have all the information that you need there. And I'm sure they'll be able to guide you in the correct way. I want to mention one more thing to you guys about just the environment that we're in. So earlier this week, one of our agents had somebody try to cancel on them, stating COVID as the reason for cancellation. Now, that is a thing that is going to be starting to happen on transactions, I feel, maybe that are at, either started maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks. That might be something that you will see. In my personal opinion, I kind of feel that it'll be something weird, because now it's like, right? If you opened escrow last week or this week, that buyer knows what situation we're in. Like, if they're stating COVID, I mean, honestly, that's a poor excuse to cancel, but I'm just, bringing that up. So anyways, this escrow was opened back in early February, and there was no performance on behalf of the buyer. It was our listing here at the office, and our agent, basically, there was a breach of contract. The financing was changed in the middle of the transaction without any agreement by all parties. It went down further, and they even had termite completion done, obviously authorized by our seller. But whatever, after that was all done, I guess right prior to docs, this buyer sending a cancellation stating COVID. And so, speaking with our risk management team, that they're saying that, although COVID is a great reason to cancel and will be used a lot, in a lot of courts over the next few months, it doesn't immediately release somebody. So, if you have a buyer that's thinking of canceling because of COVID, please really look at what the real reasons are for canceling, and don't just use COVID as a throwaway, because it could end up getting you into trouble. In this particular case, they're not going to go to court, but by her saying COVID, honestly, the risk management thought that she could have easily said, our loan contingency is still in place, we were unable to get our loan, and that's it. Versus by giving COVID, it's almost like implying that there was nothing wrong with the loan, that you could close the deal, and that everything was fine with the inspections. And so throwing COVID in there actually might bite that other agent, the buyer's agent, in the foot. So just throwing that out there, something to keep in mind right now. I honestly feel that if you open escrow in the last 2 weeks, you're probably not going to have anybody go, oh, because of COVID, I want to cancel. So let's take a sec here. I'm going to unmute everybody. Is that cool? Let's just not all try to speak at once. If there's anything you want to talk about, let me see how participants unmute. Okay, cool. All right. So everybody is open now. So anybody wants to say something right now? Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Chrissy.
Hi.
So I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. Christy was on Coast 103.5 last night. You know, she's already a celebrity, but now she's even more of a celebrity, right, Chris?
It was awesome. Oh my gosh, my dog's here. Someone's dogs. Here, this is Penny. Hi. Penny.
Oh,
Good bear.
there you
Penny
go.
bear.
Cool. So, Chris, is there anything that you want to share with us? That
Yes.
Chris?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So regarding property taxes, there's been a lot of talk about whether or not the county was going to allow people to make their payments late and basically extend the deadline from the 10th. And they have not. The taxes are due tomorrow. But what they're saying is that you can fill out a form if you are affected by the coronavirus, that you can fill out a form and they will take a look at every case individually. Then they'll make their determination of whether or not your late fees will be waived. But there's no guarantee. They're strongly urging all parties to pay your property taxes. You're going to have to prove that you didn't have the money. You're going to have to prove that you were affected by COVID-19, and if they turn you down, you're still paying the penalties plus interest. So, does anybody have any questions on that or anything to the contrary? Does everybody concur?
Yeah.
Benny, you got to teach me how to get one of those badass backgrounds, man. Mine's going to be OCT, bright orange, and it's going to blind you guys.
All right. Yeah, there you go.
I'm going orange on you guys. I can't wait. But Benny, that's like the third one I've seen. But you know what's weird is when you move, your arm disappears. That's really cool. So
Awesome.
I would like to say that we offer a COVID-19 discount, but we don't. We don't. So.
All right.
Not yet.
Steph, we got Steph on the call.
Hi.
Stop it.
So somewhat business as usual as far as home warranty goes. Our contractors are still being dispatched for all trades. I've heard that there's some companies only doing super essential trades. At this point, First American's still doing all trades, so that's a good thing, and they're keeping safe with that whole thing. Here to help you guys. If you need anything, if you run into any problems, call me first, because I know the phone lines are a little jammed right now. They relocated everybody out of our home offices to their home offices. So that all happened about a week and a half ago. So, but phone lines are a little jammed up. So feel free to call me. I'm available. Text, email, however you want. And don't forget, we have some good marketing materials you guys can get online and customize and email to your clients if you're interested. So it's all on the website. Other than that, I'm here to help. Thank you. Good to see everybody.
John Greer,
Yeah.
anything you want to say?
Background.
Hold on. I'm going to mute everybody, guys, and then I'll just so, because we have some background noise. All right, John, go ahead. Oh, wait. Sorry. There we go.
Definitely, like what we did.
I can't even hear. Did he say me?
Yeah.
Oh, how to get the background?
For you.
Yeah, my company sent it to me. So
What?
the company put it together and sent it to me, and I just took it out of my camera roll and set it up.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Pretty good, huh? The stuff we're learning.
All right, cool. Okay, so everybody else doing all right? Is there anything that you guys had a question about? Anything? I like I said, please go back to your corporate emails. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna mute all. Continue. Okay. I just muted everybody so we could get rid of that background noise. So like I said, go back into your corporate emails from like Dennis or that you get from corporate. And there are forms attached there that you should use. Also in CAR, I'll send out an email in a little bit, but there are new advisories that are there, and just things that you would want to have your buyer sign in case they're going to go look at a property. Other than that, if you have any questions, please give us a call. We're still here. Email, text, do a Zoom call if you want, whatever. Anything else? Anything that you guys want to say? Please speak up now, or you could also type in the chat. Okay, I don't have anything in the chat. Right before we go, I'm just going to share with you guys one more video. Is that okay? Can I get a thumbs up from everybody? Yeah? Okay, cool. Give me 1 sec. Here we go.
Relationships. Our business of real estate is a relationship business. I had the opportunity just yesterday of being in an audience where a young man out of Wichita Falls, Texas, was our guest speaker. His name was Ashton Gustafson, a fabulous young fellow. I met him when he was 22 years of age, single. He was our guest speaker. I brought him back 4 separate times. He's now in his early 30s, married with 2 wonderful little daughters. But he talked so well about our business yesterday. He said, in spite of all the technology and tools that we have in this business, the vast majority of business is created through people we know and people we've met. Could be family, could be people from social occasions, it could be people we grew up with, people we go to church with, from all parts of life. Almost every one of us know at least 200 people we could call our sphere of influence. And communicating constantly with those people is extremely important. But the communications have to be relative and actually personalized. It cannot be generic. It has to be relevant to the person you're communicating with. And you may not get any return from it, but the important is staying in touch with people and letting them know that you're out there having things happen. Ashton talked about a little incident yesterday that had a tremendous impact on me because of what he did. He would go to Starbucks on a daily basis, order his regular drink. The little barista behind the counter, a young lady, I think she was only 18 or 19 years of age, smiled at him one morning and said, Mr. Ashton, we're giving you a discount on your coffee today. We really appreciate you being a regular customer. Ashton figured out what the discount amount was. It was 8 cents. But it wasn't the 8 cents that was important. It was the disposition and the attitude of the young lady behind the counter, feeling she was reaching out and giving him a gift. He took the time to write her a personal note. He had her home address. Sometimes later, her mother called and asked what was the reason for the personal note. And Ashton, of course, told the truth. He was quite impressed with who this young lady was, never expecting anything in return. Well, from that little personal note came a transaction with the mother, who sold a home and purchased another home, and who knows what happened from there. That's the nature of business. That's the nature of life. It's a contact sport. Never lose sight of that. It's the relationship that really counts above anything else. Not technology, but the relationship. Thank you.
All right, can you guys hear me? Yeah, Cool. So just remember what I said in the beginning. You know, imagine what your clients would say, you know, or forget about what they'd say, how they would feel if they got a handwritten note from you, you know, Don, hope you and the family are well. Thinking of you at this time. Love, Benny, right? Or call them. Hey, how about, you know, I don't like making phone calls. I hate them. But how about 3 phone calls a day, 2 a day? You know, there are people, and this is, you know, I always tell you guys, they're watching you. There are people you sold homes to, if you've been in the business 10 years or longer, 10 years ago, that you didn't stay in touch with, that would love to know what you're up to today, would love to know what has happened in your life, would love to know that you're still in the business. There are people you sold homes to last year that would love to hear from you, right? I think even just this little video, I think some of you, including myself, you know, we're glad to just be able to see each other via video right now, right? Real quick, and we'll end this. One of our agents is a personal friend of mine, has stage 4 colon cancer, and he walks around now and tells people that they go, "Hey Juan, nice to see you," and he says, "It's good to be seen," right? So you know what? Isn't it good to be seen, right? We're all still here, aren't we? Thank God. We're all still here and we're still being seen. So go out and be seen, guys, whether it's using your Facebook, using your Instagram, whether it's the ink on, you know, on a note card to your client, or if it's your voice on the phone. All right? I wish you guys all good health, many blessings, and I'm telling you guys, go follow Nikki Rowe on Instagram. She's in Korea living like this thing never happened. And that is your proof, okay? This will not win. We will win. All right? Make it a great week. Talk to you soon, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you,
Bye,
Remy.
everybody. See you guys.